The time is exactly 9:54. We're on to our final interview for the morning. We cross over to KZN and we're going to be joined by Ward 97 Councillor Andre Beertger. And it seems as if the beach saga continues. We understand that the Sharks Board has closed all beaches. Councillor Andre Beertger, very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Morning. Thank you very much for entertaining us this morning.
Indeed, indeed. I kind of wonder and worry about the tourism industry there in KZN, with the beaches being closed, with and excuse my French, but with the stink regarding the E. coli on the beaches and the waters there. What on earth is going to happen to the poor people running businesses in eThekwini and
Well,
surrounds?
let's start with the Sharks Boards that closed the beaches, the southern beaches from Isipingo to Ungubaba yesterday on the 13th. That was not as a result of the sewage, but rather as a result of the mud that's been entering the sea because we've been having inclement weather for the last couple of days. So you get the wash of sand and mud that comes out, and then that gets into the visibility of the water, and then that enhances the possibility of a shark attack. We are
Oh.
fortunate this morning. The morning they came back, Amanzantote visibility has come to 6 meters and close by pipeline to 4 meters. So Toti and pipeline beaches have been opened. The other beaches, unfortunately, as you quite rightly say, we still got the situation with the sewage. And with the water coming down after the rain, you can have either one of two. You can have a dilution or you can have an enhancement in the E. coli level. All depends what it comes down with in the river, whether it's infrastructure broken higher up. The city did declare quite a few of the beaches open yesterday again, where the E. coli levels have gone to acceptable levels. And then in other areas, they still remain closed or are then at the level where they can't make that decision at the moment.
A week or so ago, there was a bit of a debacle going on because apparently, I think it was the mayor or the deputy mayor that decided to prove that the waters were safe to bathe in, and he went for a swim at one of the beaches. That didn't go down very well with the rest of the public. What exactly is the situation there, and how is it impacting? And I come back to the issue around the hospitality industry. Um, does it mean people are cancelling their bookings, or are they still coming nonetheless because they've paid up front and will then just perhaps go to safer beaches or use swimming pools? What exactly is the scenario?
Well, let's start with the mayor. The challenge went to the mayor to actually swim in the sea at Umhlanga because the week before, during a sitting of the executive committee, he then made the announcement that the Umhlanga beaches were safe and the E. coli count was of such that people could enter the water. A challenge then went to him, but we all knew because even the morning we went upstream and we found that there was actually still quite a bit of outpour. The mayor then in his wisdom decided to move his dip in the sea to an adjacent beach where the E. coli levels were acceptable and instead sent one of his deputy city managers to take a dip at Umhlanga. I'm sure he had a plug in his mouth. But yes, back to it, there is the reality that about 2/3 of the beaches are open at the moment. It's only a third of the beaches that are not open. The E. coli count is being checked on a weekly basis to see that it stays within the limits. And has it had a knock-on effect on tourism? Absolutely. We could see the drop in numbers as a result thereof, and hence the fact that there's been the pressure on the city to get the situation resolved timely before the start of the festive season. They have not really succeeded in that. Like I said, about 2/3 of them are open. And then you've also, as I previously said, you've got the influx of the rain. You never know what comes down the river and what's going on higher up. But, it's not just all about the sea. You can still go on the sand, and 2/3 of it is open. We've still got other amenities that can be used. We've still got the water world. We've still got the coldest beers around. We've still got the coldest cool drinks around. We've still got the good food. The weather is absolutely exceptional today. We're sitting with a high of 29. It's absolutely love it. But yes, in some places, if you're booked, you may not be able to use the beach right in front of you. You maybe going to have to move a kilometer or two to one of the beaches that are open at the moment. But yes, it's not all is lost as yet. But have we got a bad influence on our tourism? Absolutely, there's no doubt about it.
Okay, then the all important question, and as a ward councillor, you must be very concerned about this as well. Are there efforts underway to start fixing the infrastructure, or is it that badly, damaged and neglected that it means that you guys are going to have to start from scratch? And then the other big question that follows on is budgetary issues.
Yeah, the reality is that the system is old, it is frail, and it is in dire need of maintenance. And it's lacking in maintenance because maintenance was not done when it was supposed to be done. But has the city put some efforts towards it? Absolutely. And if you take a couple of weeks ago and a couple of after the storm, especially, a lot of it there was devastation. At the moment, 2/3 of the beach is open. Their work has been done. But yes, you're quite right. Budgetary constraints are definitely playing a role. At the moment, they're reprioritizing from other projects. So somewhere, something will have to go onto the back burner in favor of fixing the sewage infrastructure, or at least, let's not say fixing, putting a band-aid on so that we can at least go forward. To replace all of it, we're talking probably in the region of 100 billion rand, which nobody is lying around. But systematically, the city would start having to start looking at that. But for the moment, the band-aid is there. It's not that there's nothing being done. I'm the ward councillor down in Ward 97, which is the Mamsatochi area, uh, arguably one of the best parts of the coastline, may I add. And we've only have one of our pump stations that are still dysfunctional, which we hope to have up by the end of the week. Then you will have the southern beaches open. You'll have most of the bluff open. You'll have some of your central beaches open. Your problem areas still being the northern areas. That's eThekwini Beach. That's north of the Umgeni River, between there and Westbrook. That's where your problem lies because those Schlanga pump wastewater treatment works that comes down from Phoenix, Verulam, and Umhlanga. That was totally devastated. But yes, it is partially functional, but there is some efforts towards it. It's not like there's nothing being done. Maybe not always as fast as one wants, but yes, there is definitely efforts towards that at end of the day.
As a councillor, are you confident that there is the political will that going forward, as you say, there's band aid at the moment just to contain the current situation, but going forward, there will be the political will to save KZN, to save the cities, to save the infrastructure, and start looking at all of those issues?
That's always the challenge when one is not part of the governing party but in opposition, and we are in opposition, and we all the time holding the governing party to account. And that's where the problem lies, the prioritization of the funding. Yesterday, the governing party got rid of their ally, the ABC, in form of the deputy mayor, which now has become the scapegoat because nothing has been done. And it was quite rightly said, 90% of the budget was in his human infrastructure budget, and it's not getting done. But there's no use you trying to cut off the head, but the rest of the snake is maybe not there, because the reality being that you've got the administration that is not pulling in the right direction. It's almost like there's no will. It's like there's absolute apathy sometimes from officials to get it done, and one would wonder whether it's budgetary constraints, whether it's in light of the upcoming elections within the governing party, that people are aligning themselves or waiting to see who's going to be in power. There's always a struggle that aligns with service delivery, that aligns with a political fractionalization. Unfortunately, that's the reality of our country. But as opposition, we will continue holding the governing party to account so that the people get what they want and what they deserve.
Have to leave it. Ward 97 Councillor Andre Beerge talking to us about the Sharks Board having closed certain beaches in KZN, but he's also given us the good news that there are certain beaches that have been reopened. So all is not lost, and let's hope and pray that political will allows that this situation be remedied going forward. Okay, it's time for me to wrap up for after 10 o'clock. I've been given a read here. I'm just a bit worried about the time. It is the meeting time for a peaceful protest to unsilence the silenced. This is at Justice for Nasreen. Her fight is my fight. Today at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court, the meeting time was scheduled for between 9 o'clock to 9:30 a.m. It is already gone past 10 o'clock, but I have been told that you can still make your way and make your presence be felt. A peaceful protest to unsilence the silenced. Today, the late Nasreen's husband will be appearing at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. He has been alleged to have killed Nasreen last week, Wednesday. He stabbed her to death. And obviously, GBV activists has come out in full force, and they are saying, at Justice for Nasreen, her fight is my fight. A peaceful protest to unsilence the silence. Today, happening right now outside of the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. And please, if you are in the vicinity, make your way there and make your presence felt. And that's where we will have to leave it. A reminder that inshallah the next juz is juz 19 by Hani Ar-Rifai. Time for me to wrap up. Thank you for your company today. Till next week, Monday at the same time as always. Take care on the roads. It's wet and slippery, and there are lots of irresponsible drivers out there. So you be the sensible one, inshallah. Till then, take care. Keep us in your du'as. Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz from me, Julie Ali.